let me just answer that question directly to you. When you do something that is backdated and done in collusion, and one never hears about it, you're carrying on doing your work about it. When we did come to know about it, it was only when Dr. Muthaiya had filed the application, and we looked into the documentation, and he and I have been in touch on this issue from the day one. It's not from today. We have been in touch on this on day one. And point is that he is already taking action, and I supported his action from day one.
No, then it is negligence. You're saying Lalit Modi, you didn't know till it went to court? You saying till it went to court, you had no idea about it?
Because the documentation of how the Constitution was amended, I did not know. I wasn't even there in the meeting, so I wouldn't even know who passed it.
1 second.
Oh, no.
1 second.
No, Lalit,
Vice President of BCCI.
No.
Were you Vice President of BCCI?
Lalit,
Were you Vice President of BCCI when Mr. Srinivasan? Were you Vice President of BCCI when Mr. Srinivasan on behalf of India Cements Limited participated in the auction and was awarded the franchise of IPL rights for ownership of Chennai Super Kings by the BCCI?
In 2008.
Were you Vice President of the BCCI?
I was there.
Yes or no?
I was there
Yes or
at that
no?
point in time. But by that, yes, I was there at that point of time. Please understand, I didn't run the BCCI.
Then
There were many powers in the BCCI. I only
what are
was.
you lecturing about?
I'm lecturing about the fact.
If you were there,
I'm lecturing about the fact.
Sorry. You see, my problem with this entire mess, Lalit.
But I accept.
Lalit Modi,
Why don't you listen to me?
Listen, when people fall out, everybody takes high moral positions. I want to know, when you were all in it thick together, what moral positions did you take?
I've never taken a high moral position. I've been right there and then all along. I, in fact, had press conferences every day. I answered every question while I was in power. I answered everybody whenever an issue arises. In the last 3 years, whenever an issue has arisen, has anybody bothered to even take it up? Now you're pointing back that I was there and I allowed it to happen. By the way, I was the one who conceived the league single-handedly, created it and implemented it. Now there are powers within the BCCI which Dr. Muthaiya understands, and everybody out there standing understands. You can't run the ship by yourself. There are other people along that you got to carry along at the times. And as far as Srinivasan is concerned, I have been critical about him from day one, not from now.
Mr. Lalit Modi, tonight there are two sets of questions. I want to make one thing clear, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not here. The issue tonight is not Lalit Modi. For once, Lalit Modi, you can be sure.
You always make it Lalit Modi. Why don't we move on to what the problem is happening out there?
And we are here tonight to talk about
there now.
But Mr. Modi, you started it all, and so you're going to have to answer a few questions. Now there are two parts
I started it all. I was very proud of starting it.
You know, the other thing
very proud of what I started.
About fixing. My question is, Lalit Modi, one minute. The question is tonight, Lalit Modi is on Newshour, and I put this question to everyone. Did fixing and betting get invented after Lalit Modi went away to the United Kingdom? Lalit Modi, you would have us believe that fixing and betting was invented by some dodgy characters who you kept under check while you were there, and they all came to the surface after you went. I would like to believe that, Mr. Modi. But try as I may, I cannot.
Which you already answered yourself.
Try as I may, I cannot. Rahul Narvekar, do you believe that?
Well, Arnab, at the outset, let me thank your channel for finally getting Mr. Modi in front of the Indian cricket lovers, who probably have a lot of grudge against him and he has much to answer. And finally, they may get some respite through your channel. Mr. Modi alleging that there are irregularities in the BCCI and currently the chairman and other people who are handling this whole organization is like calling the kettle calling the pot black. And in any event, Mr. Modi, you are just seeing the fruits of the seeds which you have sown. Therefore, before you point fingers at everyone here, you need to come here, answer a lot of questions, face investigation, and then take this moral high ground. Therefore, Mr. Modi, it's an earnest request to you that if you want to seriously have a closure to this issue, you have a lot of answers to give, you have a lot of replies to give, and therefore, it would be best if you face investigation first before you point fingers at others. So, Mr. Modi, we hope that you will soon come to India, sort this out so that we can have the game going as smooth as possible.
Let him reply now.
Number two,
I said the
I see the whole problem. I see the whole problem of the crux of this problem being the independence or that has been given to the BCCI. The BCCI needs to be regulated. At the end of the day, this is a board that is representing the nation, and therefore it is the esteem of the nation that is at stake. And therefore this false autonomy that has been given to BCCI, which Mr. Lalit Modi himself has been defending for years together and asking for years together, that is something that needs to be stopped right away if we want to have things flowing smoothly with cricket in India.
I give Mr. Modi a chance to reply.
Are you sure you won't interrupt me when I'm replying? First and foremost, I joined the BCCI after a long fight in 2005, December. When I joined the BCCI, along with a new team, we went out diligently trying to do a good job, and we did a great job. I raised over 47,000 crores for the BCCI in a period of 5 years. Secondly, we went out there diligently trying to launch a new league. It was never conceived. I conceived it, I built it, and I ran it. There were always issues. We moved along, we modified, and we kept moving along. It was a new concept. It was never done before. The IPL was a league that has been conceived looking at work that has been done by many leagues around the world. And I always said we got to innovate and we got to move forward. And the combination and the principle that the ICL is built upon is quite different from all other leagues. There are elements of the EPL, there are elements of the NFL, there are elements of MLB. There are many elements that we put together to make a model that works going forward. And I always said that we need to evolve
Let's
and
go to
keep
brass
going.
tacks, Mr. Modi. Mr. Modi, if you're going to give us the long story of all the good that you have done, you're not going to answer the question. So I'm going to help you go to the question. You made a lot of money. You turned around a lot of money. You like to talk in terms of why have I lost the link there with Mr. Lalit Modi. Let's try and get that up. We will get Mr. Modi back. But the fundamental question tonight is this, that if Lalit Modi had put in so much money and so much effort, then why did he turn down an offer of 1.5 million only from the ICC anti-corruption unit to set up an anti-corruption board? Isn't that the real question? When he was spending so much money, he refused to give 7 crores to the anti-corruption unit.
You see, Arnab, Mr. Modi is in a very comfortable position sitting thousands of miles away in London because as the father of the IPL, whenever there's some good news from the IPL, Mr. Modi tweets that he is responsible for it and he takes credit for it. But whenever the bad news comes out, then he points fingers at other people. Now, you know, you can't have it both ways. You can't take credit for success and pass the buck when there's problems crop up. And as for this, $1.5 million which the ICC anti-corruption unit was asking for their services, Mr. Modi can tell us what is the budget for the match parties?
Mr. Modi, we've lost the line with him. Before I go back to Mr. Modi, our viewers will remember the pictures on your screen there are pictures of Gurunath Mayappan being taken in. As of this minute, he's been questioned there by the top bosses of the Mumbai crime branch. Well, joining the debate right now, of course, let's get them on your screen. Mihir Bose, thanks for joining us. I don't know why Lalit Modi left very quickly. I was hoping he'd stay back to answer a few more questions at least. Atul Vasan, thanks very much for joining us again. Rahul Narvekar, let's go back to the point that we were making. Mihir Bose, Lalit Modi, who was on the panel just before you, made a few points, but we couldn't get to ask him a fundamental question over betting and fixing. I hope he comes back. Mihir Bose, do you think right now, tonight, too much of an attempt is being made by cricket bosses to draw a line between betting, which is seen to be innocent, and fixing, which is seen to be the real problem? Going by that logic, if the Chennai Super Kings boss, Gurunath Mayappan, who's being questioned as of this minute, is betting, some BCCI bosses would like to pass that off as innocent activity.
Well, in India, it can't be an innocent activity. It could be an innocent activity in Britain, where I'm talking to you from. In India, all betting, apart from racetrack betting, is illegal. So therefore, by its very nature, if you're betting with somebody who is not sanctioned, who must be therefore a gangster of some sort, or an underworld character, or somebody in the margins of society. So you cannot have, okay, I'm not saying that because he's bet, he has fixed a match. That may be the next step, or it may not be the next step. But the question is, if you do not bet on a racetrack on a horse, then you are doing something illegal.
Well, in that case, does betting constitute, Atul Vasan, does betting constitute doing something? If a team owner is betting, in your view, does it constitute doing something which has an adverse effect on the reputation of the IPL, BCCI?
Definitely. I think you've got it right this time, Arnab. Betting per se is one of the lesser evils around us. It's like some people would say it's like jumping a red light. You're doing something illegal, but everybody does it. It's fine. But for somebody as close as the principal of the team, indulging in even betting, and we are not even sure what betting has led to, whether he was fixing or not, which time will tell us. So I think morally, ethically, criminally, I think it's totally something which has been done, and by association the president is also
we've been after this
answerable.
Atul, what's happening right now is this, that the Chennai Super Kings, and Boria, welcome to the panel. I wanted to make you face to face with Lalit Modi, but I think he's gone away. I don't know why he's gone away. He says he doesn't want to be on this panel. I don't know what is wrong with this panel. Mr. Lalit Modi should come back and face the panel and the people of this country. We may not give him soft, underhand deliveries, but it's time he takes a few bouncers from us as well. Yes, Atul?
Yeah, I'm not surprised, because you can't run with the hare and hunt with the hounds and come out like
the fundamental question is this, Atul, and I'm going to hit, if the Chennai Super Kings super boss, Mr. Srinivasan, is saying that his son is not part of the critical management, he's not CEO or he's not team principal of Chennai Super Kings, why is he saying so? Because why is he saying so today? Boria, why do you think he's saying so?
In one word, he's corrupt. That's why he's saying so. In one simple word, in 20 minutes he changes his Twitter thing, as Times now has conclusively put out with both grabs. From principal, he becomes something like an honorary member. Now, in my book, that's corruption. In my book, that's running away from the cricket fan. In my book, that's letting the cricket fan down once again. In my book, that's cheating. I think I've written a history of Indian cricket. Lalit Modi not being part of the panel. I was hearing the Newshour Debate. I think I need to write a new chapter. Lalit Modi lecturing us on issues of morality and propriety. Look, it's stinking. Lalit Modi talking about morality and propriety. Gurunath Mayappan changing his Twitter handle to completely take the cricket fan for a ride and hoodwink all of us. Mr. Srinivasan remaining silent. At every instant, every second, the game of cricket is being raped. I was hearing Dr. Muthaiya, and I can only echo his sentiments. It gives me great pain, and I feel disheartened that when the IPL semi-final is going on in Calcutta, we are actually talking about the death of this competition. We are about to write an epitaph, and it's all dead. Believe me, it is stinking. And for some jokers, for some corrupt officials, and for some people who have no moral fiber whatsoever.
And the test of that moral fiber will be whether they can implement 12.3. Aslam Ghani, the test of your moral fiber in the BCCI will be whether you can apply the same rules that you wrote on yourself. Can you apply the rule 12.3 on yourself today? Or are the BCCI rules also meant to be torn up and put into dustbins? You're a lawyer, Mr. Aslam Ghani. Tell me, 12.3 means what? What does 12.3 mean in this context?
Will you allow